Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for listening. This is a Holy Spirit reading for the Alchemist now. I did one earlier for the manifestors, but for this one is about the alchemist. So, if you are an alchemist, alchemist is commonly known as the masculine energy, the divine masculine. This is right now in like modern, like what people are saying now, they're calling it divine masculine. But what a divine masculine is, in ancient times, was actually called an alchemist. So while a manifester, somebody who manifests things into their life and they manifest throughout life and draw things towards them, an alchemist is actually somebody who utilizes the things that are around them, the tools that they have around them. And they take those tools and they use them to build. They use them to build lives, like things in their lives, businesses, homes, families, a lot of things. It's a very good energy. It's a very physical energy. Um, and oftentimes, when you have this coined as the masculine energy or this alchemist energy, oftentimes people that are dominant in these areas tend to have a brain structure that is set up like a engineer. So they tend to be, if anybody knows an engineer, or they know anything about like the stereotypes that engineers go through, um, they do tend to be a little bit difficult to work with, especially at the beginning. They kind of have to learn to work with other people, but they are brilliant. And you can be an engineer in anything in life. You can be an engineer, an environmental engineer. You can be an engineer. You can engineer buildings, bridges. You can, whatever it is that you're building. And the whole thing with an engineer and having the brain like an engineer is you're able to see a picture in your mind, and you're able to take that picture and you're able to build it in real life, or you're able to see what you have in your life and you're able to construct something about it. So an engineer is an inventor of some kind. So the engineer brain, the alchemist, during 2022, this year, has really gone, from the spiritual point of view, has really gone through a whole transformation, a big transformation. So if this reading and this talk is for you and you identify with being an alchemist, you identify with what is coined as masculine energy. And I say coined as masculine energy because these energies actually really have no gender to it. It's just something, calling it a masculine energy is something that is easy to relate to. But I have seen a lot of women that have been amazing alchemists and been amazing at this, like the divine masculine energy or this divine alchemist energy. And I've seen men that have been really, really amazing at being in that divine feminine energy, aka that divine manifester energy. Okay. So when you have this alchemist energy, and if you think that you do have this alchemist energy, you are in uncomfortable waters right now. You are in all uncomfortable waters right now. And that's good. It feels uncomfortable, but it's actually a really good thing. Because one thing about the alchemist throughout time and throughout history, if you look into the history of the world with people and how they have worked, people who tend to have that engineer brain, they tend to be on the more practical side. They tend to be on that more logical side. That's their dominance. And because they're dominant in that, what they have to develop is that connection to their intuition, and making sure that they value that intuitive side of them, making sure that they value emotions, intuitiveness, things that cannot be seen, which is where we get into spirituality. So, as I said before, for the alchemist right now with the energy wave, just collectively, it's very much in uncomfortable waters, because right now the alchemists are being tested on their intuition. And this is kind of this is not their strength, but they're developing it into a strength. And the manifestors are actually doing the opposite, where they are also uncomfortable and they are going into this phase where they are developing their masculine or their alchemist energy, which is manually building things up in life. Okay, so right now, a lot of the alchemists, and I will admit this, they have developed a sense of independence. This is the Nine of Pentacles energy. If you see this here, Nine of Pentacles energy. This is the independence card. This talks about being able to live on your own, have a car, have a job, have a business. You got your material life together, which is great. Or depending on where you're at with your spiritual journey, you could be getting that now. But I do believe a lot of alchemists that I'm reading for, they already have that independence. What's happening is, in the recent past, right now, you're having the strength card upside down. And so what this actually means, what this is all about, is once again moving into those uncomfortable waters. You're moving into somewhere that is not your strength. You're moving into that intuition. You're moving into trusting and having faith and having belief in whatever power that you really go for. I suggest God created the universe personally, but some people may believe in other things. But whatever power that it is that you have, that you pray to, and that you believe in, you're having to rely on that. You're having to rely on things that are not seen, that cannot be touched, things that are not tangible. And it's causing you right now to be in this Two of Swords upside down energy and feeling almost like you're not yourself. It's almost like, if I was going to describe this feeling is something that's like, you feel almost like you're lying to yourself, or like you're being fake, or that's the feeling that I'm getting, even though you're not. That's just the feeling that I'm getting, because you're like, I don't even believe in this stuff. I don't believe in, going off of what spirit says. The spirit says go left, and I look at left. I look at right and there's a bag of gold, and I look at left and there's nothing but just a rock. But when what you're going to discover is, if you go right, that bag of gold is really just glitter. But if you keep going left and you look at that rock, and let's say you crack it open, it's really going to have a diamond in it, right? So yes, it can be very uncomfortable. I can say this from personal experience. When I went on to being more intuitive, and relying on my intuition, it was a very uncomfortable experience. And I had to learn different habits for what I do. Like, I had to learn to change my habits. I had to learn to be more faithful, to be more in the belief, and to trust and to respect my intuition. That was the biggest thing. It's all gonna be okay, because what I see here is we have the Knight of Cups in the near future, and the Knight of Cups is saying that there is an offer coming in. Okay, there is an offer coming in. Now, this has to deal with your mentality. So, knights, they bring in offers, and the Knight of Cups is an offer that you have to use your discernment with. So, when you get this offer of some kind, and this is something that's emotional, so this might be an emotional connection that you have with somebody. It could be, I'm feeling that it could be somebody that you may already know. I don't necessarily feel that it's a new connection or a new thing. I think that it's an older thing that's resurfaced and come back. You're going to have to use your discernment. Definitely. You're going to have to use your discernment. You're going to have to use your intuition. And that can be very nerve-wracking, especially when you get there. But the reality is you have all the tools to succeed. You never get a test. God never gives you a test that you cannot pass. You are prepared for every test that you have in your life. And what this is going to end up doing, is it's going to end up rejuvenating you. Okay, we have the rejuvenation here, number 20, major arcana. So it's going to end up rejuvenating you. It's going to end up giving you life. It's going to end up, making you feel good, all this kind of stuff, You're going to come out new. It's like you're going to come out reborn, renewed and stuff. And you're not really reborn. You just balanced out pieces of yourself. You are great at being an alchemist. You are great at building. You were great at making something out of nothing. That's awesome. That's a big blessing. Now you want to balance it out with that intuition. Because one thing that I have learned, and this is just from my personal experience once again, but I'm talking about my personal experience because it relates, is that it doesn't matter what plan that you have. It can be the most amazing plan in the world. You can make a plan and you could tell everybody your plan and people will say, okay, this plan is good. There's no loopholes in this plan. There's no way that this plan will fail. And the plan will fail because you didn't get the approval. You didn't ask God. Okay? You didn't ask God about the plan. And God was not in your plan. And if God is not in your plans, then you do not have solid foundations. Okay? And you get that through your intuition. Now, that's with your mentality here for the Alchemist. Now we're going to go on to the second part of the reading, which is the emotions of the Alchemist. Okay? And remember, these emotions are tied to your intuition. And your intuition is your messages. Like, the intuition is how I really full-heartedly believe one of the biggest ways that God speaks to us is through our intuition. Now, there's a lot going on with your emotions. I think you feel like they're a little bit locked down. We have a 4 of Swords here as the base. So it's a possibility that, one thing that I also learned that I think relates to this is, if you don't listen to your intuition, okay, your intuition actually weakens. But if you listen to your intuition, it strengthens. Now, it is kind of like something that's like a tier that goes up, that goes down and it goes up. So like, if I don't listen to my intuition today, boom, intuition goes, like my connection with my intuition goes down. Next day, if I listen to my intuition one time, boom, and then I gain that status again. And so if you think about it like this, if you keep listening to your intuition is only going to strengthen. Your connection with your intuition is only going to strengthen, and you're only going to hear it more truer and clearer, and you're going to learn a whole lot more just from that. But right now, especially for the Alchemist, especially for what is coined as the divine masculine energy, the Alchemists have gone a while with focusing on the physical world and focusing on building, and has not focused on the emotional piece. And so that means that there is basically some chained down emotions. And these emotions are chained down and they need to be released. Okay? Now, the center energy is the Five of Wands upside down. Okay? So when we talk about the Five of Wands upside down, and we're talking about the emotions, and why are these feelings, why are these emotions being chained down? It's simply because there's not an automatic instinct to unlock them. You have the power to unlock this. Okay? This is the choice that we had. We were blessed with choice. So the Five of Wands upside down is talking about the need to choose to unlock the other part of your power, the other part of yourself that needs to balance out. Because we are not here just to be in masculine energy, just to be in alchemist energy. And we are not here just to be in feminine energy or manifestor energy. Because if we were here to already be in the energies that we are automatically and naturally have, we probably wouldn't be here in this experience. So everything that we have needs to be learned, needs to be balanced out. Now, in the recent past, there's a Six of Cups upside down here. There's something that you expected to come and it didn't come. Something from the past, a connection in the past. Now, this could be something with children. So this could be your childhood. This could be your children. This could be somebody in your childhood, something like that. But something that you expected to return, something close to your heart, it did not return. Which has you in a bit of a confusion. Okay, as you're in a bit of confusion, which is good because confusion means you ask questions. You need to pray. Okay, you need to pray. Now and right now we have the Four of Pentacles here, and the Four of Pentacles is upside down. There's a lot of things that you are holding on to. Okay, you need to let it go. The Four of Pentacles is talking about morals. It's talking about it can be family members, it can be loved ones, it's something with foundations, it's material things. So any of those things that I just said is something that you are holding on to. And this could have, what I'm really feeling big time, is something that you're holding on to prevented this connection from the past from coming to you. And you have to realize that. Okay, now in the near future we have the Ten of Cups upside down. Okay, this is when it hits. Okay, this is when it hits, and this is for these alchemists. And remember, the alchemists right now, they're going through this thing emotionally they're getting into the emotional water. They're putting their feet in the water of emotions for the first time. They kind of freaking out a little bit. It's okay. You're not going to drown. But in the near future, remember that we were talking about with the mind, we were talking about the Knight of Cups energy, right? An offer coming in. So now emotionally, I don't really believe that this offer is going to emotionally fulfill you. This is where your discernment comes in, because remember we talked about discernment. So this is a test. It's a hard test too, because this is something that has to deal with you. It's almost like logically and practically, it should be something that gives you emotional fulfillment. Logically and practically, it should be something that you want, but intuitively, you know it's not good for you. So what are you going to do, right? With your discernment, what are you going to choose your emotional happiness, or are you going to choose your logical sense? Which one? Um, Especially because choosing that logical sense over the intuition, over the spiritual messages, you have to think about where it got you in the past. And now think about going on into the future. You want to balance these two things out. You want your intuition and your pathway, what you do, what you think, what you are, to be matching. You want them to be aligned with each other. Okay? Now, once you get past this test, okay? This is once you get past this test. Remember when we talked about in the mind it's about rejuvenation, okay? In the mind is about rejuvenation. Being born anew, you're going to be in this emperor energy. That's beautiful. You want to know why? The emperor energy represents the ultimate alchemist, represents that ultimate, what's coined as the divine masculine energy, the alchemist, okay? Once you pass this test and you are able to follow the path that is intended for you, you are going to be unstoppable, because you want to know why. God is in your foundation. When God is in your foundation, you can't be stopped, okay? Nobody can stop you. That's a big lesson here, and that's something that needs to be remembered. Sometimes, even when we believe in God, even when we believe in God, creator of the universe, you know, we can sometimes unintentionally do things that go against God, in the sense of, if you go against your intuition, you know, intuition, it comes from God, okay? So if you go against the intuition, you're going to be struggling, and you definitely don't want to do that. So now we're going into the third part of the reading, okay? That was all about the emotions and everything. Now we're looking into Spirit's advice onto actions. Now, the biggest thing is you're going to need to decide what makes you happy. We have the Two of Wands here, along with the Ten of Cups, along with the Eight of Wands. So you're going to need to know, the basis is going after emotional happiness, and I'm hearing leaving erratic behavior. So when I say erratic behavior, I mean impulsive behavior. Running around like you're like a chicken with their head cut off. A lot of people, and I'm just going to say, even for me, and the people that I have around me, because I have people that are manifestors, and then I also have people that are alchemists that are around me, and they're kind of figuring out, they're learning, and they're figuring out, you know, what does that mean for their life, right? The alchemists right now they have fall and summer term, fall and summer season. I think it probably started somewhere in the middle of spring season, when the alchemists went on to a journey of trying to balance things out while running like a chicken with their head cut off, and trying to figure out balance. So now it's very beautiful, because this whole process has gotten to where balance has been attained, you know? So now is the ultimate test. This is what the test is about: emotional fulfillment, or keep running around, not knowing where you're going, not knowing what you're doing, just hoping that you get to a place, and keep running around in confusion. Now, the center energy is the God of Swords. So this is representative of the King of Swords. And the King of Swords talks about is big on intellectual ability. This is big on Aquarius energy. So look on to where Aquarius is in your chart, because this will definitely be pulling that energy from those placements, okay? But the God of Swords, and we have the God of Swords upside down. So this is a lot of judgment without enough information. That's what I'm really, really feeling. You're making a judgment without enough information with this card. Oh yeah, big time. You feel like you're definitely making enough, like, judgment without enough information. It's a very like I said, intellectual and logical, is comfortable in being in judgment, judging situations, judging people where they should be, all this kind of stuff. But it doesn't really have any intuition to it. That's the only thing. And logic can only get you so far without intuition added to it. So, in the recent past, it kind of, once again, is talking about there was a stillness. We have the Six of Swords upside down. So there was a stillness of some kind in you, in your energy. And that's just kind of, Spirit was really with you to kind of like calm down and, just see everything around and kind of, just observe things. Observing things, learning from other people's experiences. That's a big message for somebody. Learning from other people's experiences. Yeah, learn from other people's experiences, not just your own. But so you're in definitely a situation where you weren't really moving forward or anything. And that's because Spirit had you in that situation so that Spirit could teach you something, okay? Now, currently, though, you have the Lover's energy, okay, which is number 6. Once again, this is about journeys. 6 is the number of journeys. You're coming into union. So some of you are coming into union within yourself. So some of the alchemists are coming into union with their manifestor part. And that manifestor part can be in yourself. Some of it can be with another person. This could be with another person. You could be matched with somebody who is a manifestor. And it depends on where you are at in your journey, okay? It's definitely going to be different for other people. Use your discernment for your story. But you could be you could be matched. You're joining your manifestor right now, whether it's in yourself or whether it's with somebody else, as far as somebody who's connected to you that is a manifestor. And this could be this person that you were kind of expecting to come back from the past, or whatever it may be. It possibly could. But it's somebody that you already... I know this is another person that you already know. You already know this person. It's not new. It's not somebody new. Now, in the near future, remember when we were talking about this test that was coming forward, right? The test, the emotional test. And what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose emotional fulfillment? Or are you going to choose to run away from emotional fulfillment? And how you're going to pass this test is the Hermit energy, which is 9. Number 9, right? Yes, number 9. Number 9 is the number of endings. So this is you ending this cycle with this choice here. Okay? No pressure. No pressure. Just a little bit. But the Hermit energy, what the Hermit energy talks about is really... going within yourself. Searching for answers within. This is a very meditating card. You may spend some time to yourself. It's definitely advised to spend some time to yourself where you can just think and let your mind go and somewhat maybe meditate, or something that just gets you to center in yourself. Reflecting on your own behavior, reflecting on other people's behavior, reflecting on situations. You actually do need to have time. You do require time to go through that. You do require your own individual time to figure out ups and downs in lives, to reflect on situations that happened in the past in order to heal. And that's how you're actually able to get your own closure from situations and issues with people in the past, or maybe situations that were good but ended, you know what I mean? But you're going to have to go within in order to figure out what you really want. Because believe it or not, it's not an easy thing for somebody to just know what they want in life. It's not, that's actually not an easy question. So in order for you to be able to do that, you really, really got to go in and really hear what your heart is saying, what your soul, what's the sound of your soul, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's great. You go within, you'll pass the test, and then we're at the last card of this reading, okay? We're at the Eight of Cups now. This is the ultimate result. So remember, emotionally, you are going to conquer this. You are going to conquer this. You will. You're uncomfortable. You're going to get a little bit more uncomfortable. And then it's going to get real uncomfortable with this test. When you pass this test, you passed it into mastery, okay? You passed it. And then we have the Eight of Cups, not upside down, but the Eight of Cups. You're going to walk away from this. It's going to be done. You're going to walk away from this. You're going to walk away from things that don't emotionally fulfill you. Now, these things that don't emotionally fulfill you, because this is something that I learned about this card, and I do find this to be true. This card, a lot of readers, they'll tell you that it talks about just walking away from things that don't emotionally fulfill you, and then they leave it at that. But a little bit more detail, okay? What this is you are leaving a situation that you've invested in. If you notice with her, she's walking away, and these are all her cups. These are all the cups that she's put down. She's poured water in. If you notice that she's in a desert, so she had to walk and carry the water here with these cups. And she's placed these cups up and she stacked them. And she was going to just keep stacking them all by herself. She's all alone. And then she finally realized, I don't need to do this actually. What am I doing? Why am I investing in this? It's not giving anything to me. It's not giving me emotional fulfillment. It's not making me feel happy. So she walks away. So what you're going to be walking away from, this is where this test is hard, because there's a lot that maybe you have been building. There is a lot that maybe you have tried to get off the ground, but it didn't have God in the foundation. So you're going to have to, in order for you to get, as you ascend, you're going to notice that things that weren't for you fall off. They fall out of your life. And so this is the thing that's going on right now with the Alchemist divine masculine energy, coined as the divine masculine energy. You are at the Eight of Cups, moving on to build something else. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much. I really so much appreciate you guys listening to me, and definitely don't forget to like, follow. I also do personal readings on you can book them off of my Etsy. It's in my description in my profile. So yeah. All right. Bye-bye.